So one thing that is so important to remember while you read Wuthering Heights is we never hear directly from the source. We never get the story from Catherine or Heathcliff's point of view. If you've ever studied history, you learn about primary sources, secondary sources, tertiary sources. And what we're getting in Wuthering Heights is a narrative from somebody else who heard it, or somebody else who witnessed it, or somebody else who wrote something, which means you have narrators who are seeing things through their lens, through their understanding of the world, of class, of these characters that are very complex, which means we're never going to see the whole truth.
It's so true, because for the most part, we get Nellie Dean who's telling the story, right? And she's telling this to Lockwood. And then there's a transition later on in the book where Lockwood is journaling Nellie Dean's story. So you kind of have a two-distance review, right?
Right.
Because now it's kind of like, Amy, tell me about the drama at work.
Yeah.
And then versus me telling my therapist about the drama at your work, which I did do this week.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I did do this week, actually. We are no better.
Why this is important, and one of the things that I love about this book when I was reading it, is we first encounter Lockwood, who is our first narrator, and he's coming to the moors, and he's coming to rent Thrushcross Grange because he wants to get away from society. And we get a little bit of his backstory and where he's recently come from, and immediately we're supposed to understand that this guy is dumb as shit.
Yeah.
He does not understand society. So he tells a story at one point about how I was really into this woman while I was in this city. And I think she finally figured it out because I was staring at her so much. And when she started to stare back at me, I got broody and withdrew. And then she got really confused.
I forgot about that.
It's so funny. This guy, and when he first meets Heathcliff, he's like, this is such an upstanding man.
I know.
Like, we're both on the same page. We don't like being overly flowery and nice with our language. I appreciate how abrupt he is.
Which is also funny because Lockwood is from London area.
Yeah.
The South, the more civilized area. And so he's coming up to this northern Yorkshire and is like, it's kind of like when John Mayer went to Montana.
I thought it was Wyoming.
One of them. And was like, you know what? I'm going to buy a cabin and it's like a giant ranch. And it's like, I'm going to play cowboy for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Justin Timberlake did the same thing.
Yeah.
There's this thing about like womanizing men that just love to pretend to be rugged. And they're like, I'm going to go for an adventure and I'm just going to go be a manly man. And that's what Lockwood did.
Basically, he thinks it's quaint. He's gone glamping, essentially. And thinks he's like one of the rugged...
Heathcliff.
He thinks he's Heathcliff.
Which Heathcliff, we know, is this tall, burly, wide, strong man. Like they've established his depiction very clearly. He is tall, he is wide. He is like, he's built, essentially.
He's built. And most importantly, that almost every film or movie adaptation has ever gotten rid of, he's a gypsy.
He is a man. Nope, not even confirmed that he's a gypsy.
Okay. Lockwood describes him as a gypsy, and Lockwood can't be trusted.
Yeah, the thing is, we know that Heathcliff is a man of color. It is described that his father could be... Like Nellie Dean tells him like, oh, your father could be from an emperor of China and your mother could be this empress from India.
She tells it to make him feel better.
Yeah, but we basically have both the origins kind of like laid out, right? So he has more Asian features, darker skin, and he's got some great hair, from what I've heard in the book. He's all things mysterious.
All things inappropriate for a lady of society to want.
Yes. Yeah. But also there's this othering factor and a fetishizing factor with what Lockwood is doing with Heathcliff because like we've said, Heathcliff is this tall, burly, sexy man. I'm just throwing sexy in there because like every single Heathcliff I've seen is sexy. And there was like that one time when Amy and I were like back in our 20 clubbing days. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I remember I see it happening in slow motion.
I think we're still in
often.
love. I think this is the one that got away. We were like at this magical club night, and we were like one of the only women there, and there were just like a bunch of really attractive guys, and there was one guy who like
bumped into her.
Bumped into me, and then we danced. Did we dance?
No. He grabbed you
Oh yeah.
and was like, "Are you okay?"
And then I fell in love.
And you were dumbfounded.
I really was. He was this tall, very attractive. Like, he is everything that Heathcliff was described to be.
Yeah.
So I was not fetishizing. I was just really
in awe of his presence.
I was in my 20s. I was young. I was horny. And I got nothing from him. But like, so I was not othering. Lockwood was othering. And Lockwood others Heathcliff and idolizes him and wants to be there with him. And Lockwood, like you were saying with like, Heathcliff is an introvert like me. Like, we're both the men of few words.
Yeah.
Lockwood is constantly misreading social cues.
100%.
Does he got a touch of the tism?
Probably.
Honestly. And then you have Nellie Dean, who presents herself as neutral, but immediately is
always judging characters.
Always judging.